Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Dylon. I'm a DJ slash producer, and today I want to show you how I made my track hit -2 LUFS. The track is called Crusade, and it comes out December 3rd. So I'm not sure if this is going to be released post release or before release, but we can take a look at the track either way. All right, move over OBS off to the side. Cool, and I need to do this thing because on Windows, I use LFO tool to sidechain. So I have to get it to trigger everything. And I'll just hit play. Let's go. Yeah, that's it. All right. So um, let's see what it was hitting without the master bus and just a clipper. See how much I gained from that. Hit play for a second. Yeah, so not too much LUFS being added from the master bus. I think I just added some mid range, which will increase the LUFS, which is nice, and a little bit of widening, which will increase the LUFS as well. This is missing. I have dynamic compression, which I think I like a multiband dynamic, which compressed the build up a little bit more, so it wasn't louder than the drop. And then I also had like a isotopes match EQ, which is super cool. That just matches the EQ to like a reference track, which in this case was Dominate. So let me show you how you do that really quick. So just pull up isotope, match EQ. You just throw it on the track and you hit capture as soon as it loads. Okay, so you hit capture on your reference track. I'm not going to play it, but all you have to do is just hit this button, stop, then save it as a preset up here. Just new, save as a preset. And then once you are done with that, you want to throw this on any audio you want to apply it to and just hit capture. And then it'll capture the audio. And you can change the smoothing, and change the amount, how much you want it to affect the tonality. You can get things sounding pretty much like your reference track just with this, which is really interesting. It's a cool trick, but I'm not gonna throw it on again. And then it was missing an imager, isotope imager as well. I love ozone for mastering. It's pretty clutch. It's a good one. It's good stuff. But yeah, so the secret really, I just mix everything to 0, but the sauce comes from just clipping the mid range a lot. So if I go to my mids, I have my mid bass group turned up 3 dB, and some stuff is a little bit lower in volume. I think I had maybe some drop sounds here, and then I just increased the volume. But I try to mix to 0 for the most part. When I'm designing stuff, sometimes stuff is too loud, so I'll turn that down. But I have one track turned up 6 dB as well. So it just depends on the type of sound as well, like what's gonna come through, what's gonna like vibrate or kind of distort a little too much. This one's like a laser sound, so I had to turn that down. This one's the resonance, the weird resonant sound. And then it has like a little bit of white noise being distorted as well. And then this one is just the main. But you can see it's still clipping, and then I turn it up even more. Sometimes I'll put a limiter on my entire mid bus where it has the sub as well. Just for a little bit more organized like gain staging. It sounds a little bit cleaner, but I've left it off just to get more volume out of what was happening. And then some other secret sauces like this low, mid, high separator is 3-band. So you just separate the lows, mids, highs. And then on the low end, what I like to do is just hard limit, but like a hard ceiling on the volume. And since I mix to 0, I can pretty much just select what volume I want my sub bass to be at, which is super nice. So in this track, I picked -3. A lot of the times I might have it like -5, -4. But it wasn't hitting as hard as I wanted it to at those volumes. And then that just means you can also like have your actual sub be 0 +6, like just random volumes. Like let's see what happens if I turn it up 6 dB. So I have some like a low rumble because it was kind of lacking in the low end, so I wanted it to be a little more techno-y. I just found like a rumble sample or something. So when I turn it up, you can kind of hear it. I wonder what it sounds like. Yeah, I like when it's turned up, but I also prefer it prefer it a little bit quieter because I'm not exactly trying to make a techno track, but yeah, little cool trick for the low end. And then in the mids, I do have a little bit of compression. If you start to compress too much, you're gonna lose a lot of your LUFS, especially in the highs too. So like anything from 400 to 2500 hertz is like a sweet spot of the volume you want boosted. And then also to help with LUFS, basically you want to have like your entire frequency spectrum kind of playing at the same time. So like if I play
There's knowledge there that we need.
You essentially want like a full bar, like It'll help with the loudness if you can fill all those gaps. Uh, so I made make little sounds to do that for this track. And then yeah, so the mid bus still has a like a clipper at the end of it all, just to help gain stage again. Even though I'm mixing to 0, we'll still like hard limit all the groups. And this just contains everything. So this is like mids, music, FX as well, and vocals sometimes. Sometimes I'll move the vocals out and do like a separate sidechain for those. But yeah, and then drums. Drums are pretty straightforward. I don't do anything too crazy. I just have a clipper at the end of the drum bus. And I'll make stuff louder as I need to. It's just a V clip. There's no extra volume. And I have a lot of my sounds just mixed to 0. So that's always makes stuff a little bit easy for me. I don't have to do too much mixing because I do it as I go. Yeah, I can play those. They're probably clipping, but in the context of the mix, I think it was okay. Yeah, they're clipping a little bit. The build drums probably not as much. Not the greatest fill at the end there, but whatever. Yeah, onto the master. So I always love a little bit of this thing, this SSL G-Bus compressor. Free alternative would be like glue compressor from Ableton, but I feel like I achieve what I want faster, and this is less sensitive to material for sure. Then the must-have Pro Q3. I don't make a track without it. Oh yeah, let me look at the settings. So linear phase, and do like a low shelf cutoff, and then I have right side, left side hard pan, just gives it a bit of wideness. A mid side EQ to mono out the low end from this, and then again I boost mids after I compress them. This is a little interesting trick as well. The SPL Transient Designer, you can use kilohertz as well. It's just a little more sensitive to turning up the sustain. And I'll do this because a lot of the times my tracks will look like this. So I've turned it down, turned the sustain all the way so you get the dramatic picture. Let's just go and unsolo everything. So a lot of the times my tracks look more like this. And when I put SPL Transient Designer on at the end here, it basically sausages out the waveform. It makes it a nice I would consider it maybe like a cheap solution to like poor sidechain. But if the end result is fine, then I don't think it really matters, right? So, whatever gets the job done is like my mentality when it comes to that. I was always looking for like a little extra volume, and I could never get it out of boosting the gain into like clippers. But when you have like a transient, I was like, how can I get this extra volume? I'm like, well, what if I put a transient designer, because it's gonna literally shape the waveform essentially. And so I did it one day on like a master bus like this with the kilohertz version. Let me pull that up. You can see this kilohertz does it like a little more dramatically, and it's free, this transient shaper. And again, there's other there's other uh, alternatives to the UAD SPL. Like UAD is the most expensive. There's a Waves one, and I think they're exactly the same. I'm not sure. Someone will have to fact check that. But yeah, so I threw the kilohertz transient designer, which is a little bit more sensitive. Like I think I only do like 5 to 10%. 10% is a lot. 5% is like sweet spot. And what it does is you're literally just wave shaping. So this would be like the kick. I chain ducks too much here, and then you're boosting everything. So ideally, maybe I could just put this on the like instead of here, I can put it on the side chain instead of the master, so it's not also affecting the drums. But sometimes I want it to just do everything. Like be it's like a Swiss Army knife of volume, which is really nice in the end for what I'm trying to do with bass music, and EDM in general is super loud. So this kind of is the shortcut to fixing bad sidechain. It starts to clip, obviously. That might be why I put it on the master channel, is because I run it into the final clipper, and it's not always necessarily in this order as well. So, but on the final limiter, I have some oversampling. It's just at 0, so it catches all the peaks, and since it's clipping super hard, I would say like anything over 6 dB, you should use oversampling, and then um, don't quote me on that, but I think someone else has mentioned that before. And then I put a final clipper to catch the peaks. When you use oversampling, for some reason it does the oversampling after post clip, so things start to peak a little bit again, and then I just catch those peaks and I turn them down 0.3 dB, because it's like a standard thing to do, I guess. Yeah, I think that's it. I mix to 0. I'm boosting the mids. I'm widening a lot of mid range, as you could tell. Like a lot of the mid range sounds were super wide. Especially that laser, the contrast I think is nice. With that in mind, I hope this video helps you along your mixing journey. And if it does, please like and subscribe for more content. I'll always show more mixing techniques and stuff like that. I love sharing this, and I want to share and I want to help. So yeah. Peace.